Well, as my Los Angeles Lakers enter the second half of the season in a few hours here, the questions are starting to rise. Can the Lakers get it together with about 20, 25 games left in the season? Can they find a way to get to a spot that makes sense for them? They're not going to get to the 6th seed. This is about getting some nice play-in position, and if anything, 7 through 10 is likely where the Lakers will finish. And the question is, can the Lakers, with this tumultuous up and down season, really make a push at it down the stretch? Anthony Davis is going to be out at least 3 or 4 more weeks for those whom are concerned. Russell Westbrook skipped All-Star Weekend in favor of his mom's birthday. I obviously respect to bruh for that. Russell Westbrook, can he find his way in LA? Will he be better suited as the second option versus when Anthony Davis is in the fold as a third option for LA? LeBron, is he 100% locked in? A lot of Laker Nation starting to question, is the King really chasing ring 5 in LA? Or does he have his mindset on Cleveland or somewhere we can play with his son in a couple years? There are a lot of questions. Can Frank Vogel turn this awful defensive team around? Because he's known to be a great defensive coach. This year has been an anomaly in his career. Dwight Howard, can he get some minutes in his rotation? Is Stanley Johnson your starting 5 down the stretch? There are a lot of question marks. Malik Monk, can he remain consistent? Austin Reeves, is he one of your starters in the closing minutes? Carmelo Anthony, can he bounce back from his injury and get back some of that shooting form that he had early in the year? How many questions y'all want? I got more if y'all just looking for him. Can Talen Horton-Tucker find himself in this rotation? Can he be more efficient from the field? I got questions all over the place. Will Kendrick Nunn play at any point this year? He's been out almost an entire season with a bone bruise. You heard me correctly. A bone bruise. Questions all around this place in regarding the Los Angeles Lakers. And I guess the biggest question mark is, what do you think? Do you believe the Lakers will turn it around and make some significant noise in the playoffs? Let me just throw a scenario out there. Chris Paul is out with a fractured hand. Anybody know anything about Chris Paul? He's going to do everything in his power to be ready for game 1 of the playoffs when his Suns, whether the 1 seed or the 2 seed, take the floor in Phoenix. What if Chris Paul is out for the first round of the playoffs? I'm just throwing a scenario out there. What if the Lakers end up getting the 8th spot out west, winning a play-in game, and they match up against the Suns with no Chris Paul? At that point, do you believe LeBron could go in that bag of tricks one more time, pull a little magic out, and push the Lakers past the Suns in round 1 if CP3 is not healthy at the start of it? Remember, he's out with a fractured hand. Because then if you go look past round 1, things could potentially look up for the Lakers. A second-round matchup against Utah, a Western Conference Finals matchup against Memphis or Golden State. Just throwing it out there to you guys, man. NBA Finals, LeBron versus Giannis. The Lakers are not afraid of the Bucks. They match up decently with the Bucks, if anything. The Sixers, the Bulls, the Heat, whoever come out the East. I think the Lakers would have a lot of more of a hard time getting out of the West versus whatever team would have to make it to the finals out the East. There are a lot of question marks. I want to know your answers. My quick answer is I don't think the Lakers will turn it around this year. And I honest to God truth, I don't think they'll win a play-in game. I don't think the Lakers make the playoffs. And that pains me. I've watched enough. And what frustrates me about this team more than some of the Laker teams that didn't do good in years past is I see a championship on this team. I do. I think with Malik Monk and LeBron James in the backcourt, meaning LeBron goes back to playing the point, Malik Monk, playing the 2 guard, I think you figure it out at the 3. There are multiple, ways you can go about that. If Anthony Davis could get healthy at the 4 and start making some jump shots, and then maybe you mix in Dwight Howard at the 5 or put AD at the 5 if he's wanting to play it at this point in his career. Austin Reeves and Russell Westbrook lead your bench with Carmelo Anthony. Allow Westbrook and Melo to split all the bad shots they want in the 2 to 3 minutes they get at the end of the first quarter together. A couple minutes to start the second quarter, without LeBron on the court or, without maybe one of the other LeBron AD on the court. Allow Westbrook to cook, but limit him to stints off the bench in which he can only get up but like 12 shots a game. He goes 5 for 12. That's not great, but that ain't bad. 5 for 12. Give you maybe 12 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists a game for Brody. That's good production off the bench. That, I think, is an ideal rotation for a team that if everybody's focused and locked in, Anthony Davis and LeBron James included, Frank Vogel, Rob Pelinka, and everybody included? Will the Lakers be a spot that, able to land a couple guys in a buyout market? I believe that's the most frustrating thing for Laker Nation. We do see championship potential on this roster. We don't believe everybody is giving it their all.